Hi, Grandma here. Happy tea. Yum, yum, yum. And two of my babies today. This is Oliver and this is Blaze, his brother. As you can see, he's looking over him. But Blaze, I think you've got to get out of the way a minute, babe, because I need to change your brother, okay? Come on, you come and sit up here. Come on. Oh, darling, too many chocolate eggs. Too many chocolate eggs. Right, this is Oliver. He was actually my very first baby that was brought for me by my daughter Charlotte. She did a bit of a sneaky on me. I was looking at him on eBay and I fell in love with him, and he was quite a bit of money in my, pocket for me at that time. I hadn't got a lot of money. And I fell hopelessly in love with him, and I was watching his every move on eBay. And I told my daughter Charlotte about it, and I said I've fallen hopelessly in love with a reborn doll. A what? That's what she said. And I said, a reborn doll. So she had a look, and she was much better on eBay than me. So I said, well, can you just look it over and keep an eye on him for me and see what happens? Well, the next thing I knew, I went on and checked, and he was gone. He'd been sold, and I was really, really upset. But in saying that, I thought, oh, well, I expect he's gone to a good mummy, and his new mummy will love him. Then a little while later, a big box arrived. I thought, what on earth is this? And inside was Oliver, and my daughter Charlotte had bought him for me, and he's been with me ever since, and I love him immensely. I really do love him. Different things about him I love. I don't know what it is. I just look at him and I think, he needs to be kissed all the time. But I love him. Today I thought I'd come on, have a chat and change his clothes, if that's all right with you people out there. So let's just turn him around. Good boy, darling. Let's take your toys a minute. Come on. Right, as you can see at the moment, he's got on his Winnie the Pooh outfit and his stars and everything. See? But we're going to change him. My daughter Recia decided what he was going to wear today, so let's just hope what we've got will fit. Let me just check his nappy. Hang on a minute, babe. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Yeah, I've got that powder in there, makes me much. Oh, more one on your legs, sweetheart. That's it. So, what was I going to tell you about? Oh, I know. I was going to tell you a little bit more about me and where I lived and some of the things we got up to when we were little. One of the main things I remember was my brother telling me that him and my sister would think it was hilarious to put me into a large tractor tyre and just roll me down the hills by the farm where we lived. I'm not sure if that's true, because as I say, with my brother, he never could tell. Sometimes I'm sure he told me things purely just to roll me up, because he's really good at that, and he's still really good at it now, as a matter of fact, so nothing changes, does it, even though I'm grown up. So my daughter has decided that we could have a Dumbo shirt. So Dumbo shirt it'll be. Apart from the fact it's one of my favourites too, I think she picked very well today. So lay the head, darling. Good boy, come on. That's it. Such a sleepy head. Come on. Make it difficult for mummy. That's it. That's it. You will notice when I talk to my babies, it does kind of swap and change, because sometimes I say, come to mummy. Sometimes I say, come to grandma. Because, as I said before, everybody calls me grandma. So, even my children call me grandma, because when the grandchildren are about, it's easier. Right, so that's that bit done. What was the other thing I was going to tell you that I forgot to tell you yesterday? I know what it was. I spoke yesterday about the outside toilet. And I wanted to say to you that when we were little, one of the things I remember was that at night, or if it was really, really cold, we used to have a gazunder. Now, I don't know if you know what a gazunder is, but gazunder means it's a potty, and it goes under the bed, goes under the bed. And I shall always remember that growing up, thinking about this gazunder and thinking that perhaps everybody else knew what a gazunder was. And it wasn't until I was much older, old enough to go to school, that I realised that no, everybody didn't know what a gazunder was. And, I was quite surprised about that. But then how was I to know that a lot of other people hadn't had an outside toilet? So, but anyway, here you go, my little Dumbo. A nice Dumbo. I suppose a pair of socks. A pair of socks. A pair of socks. A pair of socks it is then. Stripy socks, picked out by my daughter, who's coughing her guts up in the background whilst filming. I do apologise for that. She's got a tickle in her throat. It's probably a frog. What is it they say? Cough it up, chicken. Might be a gold watch. So, anyway, by now you've probably worked out I'm a bit of a crazy girl. I like a laugh, I like a joke, I like my babies, but most of all, I like people. I do find them difficult because I have got a number of problems. I find people that are spiteful and vindictive, I find them really difficult to cope with. And also, I find people that don't understand other people's problems a bit difficult to cope with. I'm pretty open about most things, very honest, sometimes honest to a fault, but I think that goes with a few of my problems. But anyway, now, I know this has been a bit bitty because, as you know, I'm still pretty new to this and getting used to all this and talking to people and everything. And I find it difficult changing babies whilst being watched in case I do it wrong. But anyway, I suppose we'd better say goodbye and let these good people get on with their day, little man. I'm not sure he agrees with me, but I do love him to bits. Anyway, everyone, thank you ever so much for joining us for this little catch-up and for me to be able to tell you the couple of bits I wanted to be able to tell you about the tractor tyre and the gazunder, if you can remember that, which got all mixed in with everything else. I've got a busy mind. But anyway, he's looking extremely handsome now in his shorts that look more like 3/4 length. But there you go. He's a little bitty boy. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll finish my cuppa. Take care. Bye. And remember, be nice to me. I'm a grandma.